Utter lagai na ayo. Come close, brothers. My utter's not that bad, I don't think. Come on, brothers, fill the gaps. Brothers off the wall, please, for the sake of Allah. Inshallah. Come. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Nahmaduhu wa nusalli ala rasulih. Come, brothers, inshallah. Whoever moves forward, Allah Ta'ala will move him forward. Come, brothers. There should be no gaps in front of us. If there is a gap in front of you, I'll tell you what happened. Brother Shaitan, our best buddy, whether we accept it or not, who we have befriended all our lives, he will come and sit in that spot. And what he will do, I'll tell you what he'll do as well. Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam has informed us about the ploys of Shaitan. He'll come and sit in the gap, and he will, in our language you say, pahwar hai. He'll stroke you, he'll tap you, he'll make you nod your head and say, yeah, this guy's on point, he's talking truth. He won't make you say this guy's chatting bubbles, because you're a Muslim. He'll make you say, yeah, it's all good, but inshallah. And you and I know, if we're honest with ourselves, our inshallahs have turned into inna lillahs. If you just go back 1 year, probably exactly 1 year ago, you had a jor here. There are many people sitting here who heard the talk, were moved, but what happened as a result of that? They said, inshallah. And a whole year has passed by, and if you're like me, we evaluate our lives, we have not made much progress in terms of deen. So brothers, fill all the gaps. There should be no gap, no room for shaitan. Come brothers, there's going to be a lot of brothers arriving as well. Come brothers, inshallah. And the other request, brothers, let us just remind ourselves where we are sitting and what our status is right now. Right now we are in the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, tabaraka wa ta'ala, jalla jalaluhu wa amma nawadahu, malik al-mulk, rabbul alameen, the king of kings. We're in his house, and we're his guests, and we're in his path. Say alhamdulillah, brothers. So the house of Allah, and Allah himself deserves utmost level of respect and reverence, which is why the ulama ikram inform us that in the house of Allah, to take the phone out is a great disrespect towards Allah and his house, especially when the talk is taking place. The talk of Allah and his Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is taking place, and I take my phone out, very, very disrespectful. And Allah will not come down with a stick to hit me. Allah Ta'ala punishes in different ways. And one of the greatest punishments of Allah is that He pulls tawfiq away from a person, hidayat away from a person. He knows it all, He hears it all, but He does nothing because the tawfiq is not there. Today, unfortunately, brothers, we have failed to grasp this concept. In the time of Musa alayhi salam, there was a person, he was a great rebel, a scoundrel, and he was disobeying Allah all the time. And Musa alayhi salam was warning him and telling him, fear Allah, the punishment of Allah will come upon you if you continue with your bad, evil ways. But he continued, and with Allah, Allah is not impatient. He's not quick with his retribution. He works in weird and mysterious ways. He works with his own wisdom. So Musa alayhi salam again and again is warning him, but no azab of Allah is coming upon him. So he thinks. So one day when Musa alayhi salam is going to meet Allah, he says to Musa alayhi salam, oh Musa, because when a person keeps on disobeying Allah and everything is honky-dory fine, like it is for us now in this country, look at this masjid, beautiful. You think like you're sitting in the Middle East. What a beautiful masjid. My son, his eyes, where is he? His eyes have been like this since he came in. MashaAllah, Allah Ta'ala accept your efforts and make this masjid abad. And in our homes, we have so many ni'mat. If you're as young as I am, nod your heads, you will know. We did not have double glazing in our houses. Isn't it? Everyone's acting like, oh no, I was born after that. You know, we used to wake up on a frosty cold morning, we'd see ice outside the window and we'd scrape off the ice on the inside of the window. We knew what double glazing was and central heating, but we couldn't afford it. I'm talking about Blackburn here. Underfloor heating, hot running water. I used to wake up in the morning, that geyser, talk, yeah, turn it on, wait 15 minutes for hot water to come out. Allahu Akbar. Now it's raining money on us. And along with that, the disobedience of Allah. But the money is still coming in, so we're thinking it's all Allah. Hadha min fadli Rabbi, everything is good. Not realizing that no, there is a punishment befalling us. So this person didn't realize. So he said to Musa alayhi salam, because when a person keeps on disobeying and everything's running smoothly, he starts getting arrogant, cocky, proud. So he said, oh Musa, you're going to see Allah. All right, tell Allah, when's this azab coming? This azab you've been telling about. Allahu Akbar. What a scoundrel he was. When's this azab coming? Let me know so I can pencil it into my diary, kind of thing. Musa alayhi salam thought, oh, what a cocky guy. He said, okay, I'll ask Allah. So when he went to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when he spoke to him, he asked him, he said, you know that person, that scoundrel, he was asking, when's your azab coming? He said, oh Musa, brothers, open your ears and hear this and reflect upon our own lives. Am I stricken with the same punishment, retribution from Allah if I assess my life? Is this true for me as well? Allah forbid. He said, oh Musa, go tell him my azab, my punishment arrived on his doorstep ages ago. But he just doesn't realize. My affliction has already afflicted him. My punishment has already befallen him. What is it? I have taken away from him the lazzat and the enjoyment and the relish of munajat, of calling out to me. He doesn't enjoy namaz, zikr, dua, talking to me. I've taken that away from him. Reflect on ourselves. Right now, tahajjud namaz, I can pray till about 20 past 6. Even if I go to sleep at 9 o'clock, I get a whole shift in. I get tired, sides start hurting. From 5 o'clock, I'm awake. My wife goes, can you not, what's up? I can't sleep. Allah, you've just done 9 hours, man. Yeah? So I could easily pray tahajjud. I could easily call out to Allah. But, Allahumma salli ala, Allah, it's not there. My namaz, look at our namaz. I'm the last one in, first one out. The enjoyment's not there. I'm doing it as a formality. But what is enjoyment of namaz, of salat? Uwais Qarni rahmatullah, I think it was, or one of the sages, he used to say, tonight is the night for ruku. And he would start his salat, he'd go into ruku, and he would spend all night in ruku. Tonight is the night of sajda, all night in sajda, and he's enjoying it more than we enjoy our gourmet burgers and our picnics and our outings and our holidays. One sage, he said, I did such a long sajda. If we do, people ask Musab, when we give targhi, we say, try to, you've been mashallah praying namaz, praying your salat for 30 years. So increase your tasbih in your ruku and sujood. Subhana Rabbi al-Ala, pray more than 3 times. Musab, can you do that? No, you get sin. Of course you can. The sky's the limit. He went into sajda, he did such a long sajda, he said, then I felt a wetness around me. And I had to shorten my salat, and I lit the lamp, and I realized what the wetness was. There was a pool around me. You know what it was? My 2 buck teeth had fallen out. There was a pool of blood. And I found my teeth in there. These are real people. And I'm not even mentioning the Sahaba Kiram, the real superstars. They were like you and I, made from bones and blood. But they had something else, which we have lost. Yes, we've gained the whole world. Yes, your car's beautiful, your house is beautiful. MashaAllah, you've got all the gadgets. What a jacuzzi you have. What a holiday. What, MashaAllah, nihari, masala dosa, paya, gourmet burgers. Don't worry, food's coming up, brothers, after I finish. Yeah? MashaAllah, MashaAllah, curry house, maja, gourmet. I got to tell you my gourmet burger joke, otherwise my son will tell me off. You know, when gourmet burgers first came on the scene, I'd never had one. 2 years ago, I went to Jamaat and there was a dawat and they gave us gourmet burgers. somebody, and it was in front of me, somebody took a picture. When I got home, my son goes to me, that you know, in all your bayans, you say, I've never had a gourmet burger. You can't say that anymore. I said, you're right. But I only had about a quarter of it. Yeah? But anyway, gourmet burgers, when they first came out, people are sending me pictures. Masa, check this mother out. Mother of all burgers. Masa kasanti. Masa, you got to try this. So I'm just looking at the price tag. I'm disgusted. Whoa, right. I'm zooming in. I said, what is this? So it's a stacked up burger. It's got a skewer going through it, isn't it? All you guys acting all Sufi like, yo, we don't know what you're talking about. You know what I mean? Gourmet burger, it's got a skewer stick going through it. So I zoomed in. I messaged the guy. He goes, what's the stick for? He goes, Mosa, it's so heavy. It's got beef in there. It's got chicken in there. It's got all this. It's so heavy that if you take the stick out, it'll topple over. I said, bro, you eat too many of them, pretty soon you're going to need a stick to stop you toppling over. It ain't good for you, that. But this is what our lives have become. Ha ha, hee hee, picnic party, holidays, outings, milkshakes. Is this what we were? Allahu Akbar. Is this what a Muslim is? And we're happy, alhamdulillah, money is coming in, wives working, daughters working, sons working, money is coming in. Hada min fadli Rabbi. Brother, you've gained all this. When was the last time you spent 3 days in the path of Allah? When was the last time you sat from Asr Salat till Maghrib Salat in the Masjid without your phone? When was the last time you prayed Quran and enjoyed it? One of our scholars, I think Molana Yusuf Ludhianwi rahmatullah, he says that once I had to do a bayan, Jumas bayan, in another city or somewhere. So he said, after I prayed my Fajr Salat in my masjid. This person that I'm talking about, he passed away within the last 20 odd years. So they live amongst us. They are like us, from our era. We can't say, oh, the Sahaba, that was a different time. They live amongst us even now. They walk amongst us. But they've made the correct effort for spirituality. They've got a bigger treasure than us. Their car's not as good as ours. Their house is not as good as ours. They've not got money like us, but they've got a bigger treasure than us. He says, I asked somebody, I prayed for you in my local salat, masjid, and I asked somebody, can you go drop me off there? I've got to do Jummah. And he said, okay, no worries. So he took me. He said, the Jummah masjid was there. So he said, Mosa, I'll drop you off here. He said, no, take me to another masjid nearby. Because I knew that I'd get solitude there. So he took me to a little masjid, musalla, where I knew I wouldn't be disturbed. I went in there, I prayed 2 rakats namaz, tahiyatul masjid, and then he said, I've got 5-6 hours to kill, as we say, kill. And we say we kill time. Men speak of killing time, whilst time quietly kills them. That's the story of our life. And those people, they were not killing time, they were making time valuable. He said, what shall I do to kill this time? Now in this masjid, no criticism, but all our masjids, right? Observation, you can go check it out. There was a time when tasbeehs used to be hanging at intervals in the masjid. On the radiator taps, tasbeehs hanging. There used to be a whole library inside the cabinets. What used to happen back then is that, say, Isha Salat is at 6 o'clock, or Isha Salat is at 6:30. I think it's at 6:15. So I come to the masjid early by accident. Not by intention, by accident I've come. So now I'm thinking, oh, 15 minutes to kill. What shall I do? What shall I do? So in those days, what used to happen? People used to think, chalo, let me do a bit of zikr. Let me read some Quran. Let me read a kitab. But over time, these phones, these unsmart phones really, that have destroyed us, they came on the scene. So what happened is, I come to the masjid, I've got time to kill, oh no problem, I'll just clear my inbox, I'll just forward some messages. And the tasbeehs were left hanging. And the kitabs were left gathering dust, which is why most masjids you go in now, Mariful Quran, where's your Mariful Quran gone? Masab, we had it 20 years, nobody picked it up, we just got rid of it. Unfortunately, tasbih is all gone. So brothers, we have to assess our lives. The whole purpose of this gathering is that we come together and we reflect on this milestone. It's been a year since the last gathering. What have I done in the past year to make my akhirat, to build my spirituality. We were a people, this was our secret weapon for the whole world. We were embodiments of spirituality. A Muslim was a dynamic personality, due to that spirituality, Muslims were at the forefront of every field, secular and Islamic. We spearheaded research in science. People used to go from these countries to our countries to study. When I was teaching here in Playgate School, they had an exhibition in Science and Industry Museum, Manchester. You know what they called the exhibition? 1001 Inventions. The book is still available, you can buy it. It's a big book. And it was exclusively about Muslim contribution to the world. And they call it 1001 Inventions because without exaggerations, they said Muslims have contributed more than 1,000 inventions to the world. And the book is all about that. Because we were excelling in our deen, Allah Ta'ala was opening our minds up. We were excelling in our dunya. When we took a back seat on our deen, we lost our dunya as well. We were embodiments of spirituality. Let me give you one example very quickly. We've lost that now. No matter how much I talk and I pray namaz, my own son is not influenced by my spirituality. हमारे बच्चे भी मुतासिर नहीं है. Because I've talked the talk, but I've not got the words. I've not got the spirituality. And what was the spirituality? Let me give you one example. Sahaba Kiram, Allahu Akbar. They used to say a few words. What was their dawat? They didn't do hour-long bayans. They used to say, Kunu mithlana, become like us. The Orientalists, they said Islam was spread by the sword. They still say that. And Muslims came out and they said, no, that's not true. And they provided the evidence. All the evidence is there. Islam was not spread by the sword. But they still keep coming out with their filth. Molana Yusuf Rahimahullah was one of our great scholars. He answered them. He said, yes, Islam was spread by the sword. They got happy. He said the sword of akhlaq and spiritualism. They were embodiments of spirituality. Wherever Muslims traveled, even if they went for trade and business, that sword sliced people's hearts and the nur of Iman penetrated into their hearts. We live amongst our non-Muslim friends, we work with them, we chill with them, but they are not influenced by us. Our own children are not influenced by, because we've heard the words, we say the words, but it's all empty. One very quick example. Sheikh Abdul Quddus Gangohi Ramtiyah was a great scholar. I didn't intend to talk about this, but mashallah, because you brothers are listening attentively and somebody's probably got something in their heart, that's why it's coming out. So inshallah, keep it like that. Don't take your phones out, otherwise I'll get in trouble. Brother, put your phone away. Fill the gaps, inshallah. So, what happened? Fill the gap. See, there's proof, bro. There was a gap, and then the brother took his phone out. Shaitan. You can't see him, but you can see what he's up to. Come, brothers, fill the gaps, inshallah, if there's any gap. Sheikh Abdul Quddus Gangohi was a great alim, and he had not just acquired knowledge, he'd exercised himself, mujahada, hardships, qurbani, tiring himself in ibadat, in worship, in striving in the path of Allah. So he was an embodiment of spirituality. He had hundreds of thousands of disciples. He was a great personality as well as being a scholar. So his son, he sent him off to madrasa. In those days, the madrasa course was a full shebang, not like now, part-time. Will be 6 saal. 13 years. And they studied all sorts. They studied philosophy and mantiq and logic, and along with fiqh and hadith and everything. So his son was Ruknuddin. So now Ruknuddin is returning. And all the disciples dead happy. Now mashallah, the prince of our sheikh is our king. The prince is returning. So they said to Sheikh Abdul Quddus that we should have a jalsa. We should have a program, a reception for him. So he reluctantly agreed. Brothers, put your phone away. Jazakallah. You know, before when I used to do bayans, I used to save people embarrassment. I used to, if a brother's got his phone out here, I'd look the other way and say, brother, can you put your phone away, please? So the brother would look up, he wouldn't be embarrassed, and then he'd put it away. Yeah, but then he got to a stage when I turned the other way, I said, brother, put your phone away. He'd look up and think, oh, he's not talking about the other guy. So he carry on. So now I have to call people out. Brother, you, put it away, man. You're in the house of Allah. Talk of Allah. Allah Ta'ala grant us all tawfiq. So, Abdul Quddus Gangohi agreed. So they had a massive jalsa. thousands of people. And this was after Isha. They had all the lights on the stage and everything. And then they had Naat and the Qiraat and everything. And then they announced Sheikh Rukunuddin. So Sheikh Rukunuddin came on, yeah, fresh out of madrasa, yeah, young knowledge, yeah, not like mine. Daraba Yadribu, I don't know, Zed, I know Zed got butted, but yeah. People come to me for masla, I say, why? My knowledge is as old as me, yeah. And even then, in the first place, he wasn't much anyway. मैं तो कलीलुल इल्म था, फिर अलीलुल इल्म हो गया, अब तो अदीमुल इल्म हूँ मौलाना. Mufti Sahib, Allah Ta'ala have mercy on me. So, Sheikh Rukunuddin, he's come with this now ocean of knowledge. So he came on the stage and he just bewitched the people. He came out with the highest level bayan. Yeah. And he's coming out with logic and philosophy and fiqh and hadith. And everyone, the congregation are swaying away. They're all jahils, they don't understand what he's saying. It's all going over their heads, but they're all like, MashaAllah, Subhanallah, Subhanallah. And everyone's like really into it. Yeah. 3 hours he did bayan. People observed Sheikh Abdul Quddus Rahmatullahi sitting in the back, touching his head. He was in a dilemma. He was heartbroken when he should be happy. Why? Because he was a man of spirituality. He's thinking now, my son's got the knowledge, but he's not got the spirituality. And how can I tell him now that also this effort that you made so far is a smaller effort? Now there's a greater effort. Now you've got to go out in the path of Allah. Now you've got to strive. Now you've got to go bring more effort in order to bring that knowledge into your heart. But you can't tell him. He said, how can I tell him now? He's an alim in his own right. I've got to respect him. So he's clutching his head, shaking his head. Everyone else is enthralled, but he's heartbroken. When the 3-hour bayan came to an end, people requested him to do dua. And they said, no, Sheikh will do dua. So they requested Sheikh Abdul Quddus, you do dua. I said, no, I'm not doing, you do dua. They insisted. So he said, okay. So he came on the stage. Now he wanted to talk to his son. He wanted to give him a message. So you know what he did? He came on and he said, MashaAllah, MashaAllah, it's fantastic. It's a very joyous occasion that Rukunuddin has come back with knowledge. Allah Ta'ala has blessed him with knowledge. Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah. But I've got some sad news to share with you people. He talked to the congregation, but he's actually telling Rukunuddin. He said, you know, when Rukunuddin was coming, when he graduated, the news reached us. We were over the moon, myself and his mother. And then we were told the date of his arrival. So his mom is so happy. And she made rice pudding as a celebration. In those days, that was like a treat. So she made kheer for him, joyous occasion. Cooked nice food, and kheer was the pièce de résistance, the nicest thing. So now he's talking about kheer. And he said that then she made the kheer, she put it in a bowl, and then to cool it, she put it on the windowsill. And a cat came, and because of the cat jumping around and everything, it knocked the plate over, and all the kheer was wasted. And Rukunuddin did not get any kheer to eat. Nor did I. And he started crying. When he said that, the whole majma started crying. It was like a ripple effect throughout the whole majma. Thousands of eyes, everyone screaming and crying, heartbroken. Rukunuddin understood then. This guy, he's a powerhouse of spirituality. He can talk about kheer. He can talk about a cat. And even that penetrates people's hearts. And after the 3-hour bayan, it was just MashaAllah, MashaAllah. Rukunuddin came to his father, kissed him, and said, Jazakumullah, you've given me the biggest lesson. From tomorrow, I'm going out in the path of Allah. Brothers, we had this spirituality once upon a time. Kabhi hum mein tum mein bhi chahati, kabhi hum mein tum mein bhi rahati, kabhi hum bhi tum bhi the ashna, tumhe yaad ho ke na yaad ho. Once upon a time, brothers, we loved Allah. We were connected to Allah. All of us sitting here. We're not anymore. If we're honest with ourselves, I'm talking about myself, but we know. My namaz, up and down, kiss the ground, turn around, back the time, mashallah, namaz pari liji. What was the level of your namaz, bhai? Quran, atayyo. Zikr, how you doing? Jamaat, yeah, I'll come, inshallah, I'll come. Saturday afternoon, inshallah, I'll come. I'll stay till the evening. If you want to know what you were, what I was once upon a time, when we were lovers of Allah, look at your young son. I know there's a lot of young people, ex-students here, who are, mashallah, setting off in life. Mashallah, you've secured your job, you've got your Juliet, now mashallah, you got your little kurkuriyas, Allah Ta'ala grant you barakat. You're there at that stage in your life. Now what I advise you people to do is look at your child. If you don't have children, look at your younger siblings or your nephews and nieces. I'm going to the masjid. And if you're honest, we're all like that. We're all in the same boat. We're all born and bred here. We've all ingested the filth of the world. I'm going for namaz. My wife goes, where are you going? Masjid. Or sometimes I don't bother replying. Stupid. Yeah? What a question. Yeah? And I'm going in a huff and I'm coming back in a huff. Yes? And I don't feel like today I was invited by Allah into His house. I was in the path of Allah. Every step I got, my stages were getting elevated. I was like a person donning ihram, going for Hajj. I was a guest of Allah. I don't think that I just muttering under my breath, committee guys, man, they need to turn the heating off. Why did they open the windows? That Imam's having praised too long. Yeah? All negativity. Yeah? And then you have your little child, or your little nephew, or your grandson, and you say to him, Chal, Ajay, I'll take you from namaz. His eyes light up. You try telling your 14, 15-year-old, you know, the year 9, huh? I know, experience from here. Year 9, that's when they turn a bit doolally. No offense to year 9ers, but you're a pain. Yeah? They stop talking English. You know, in Blackburn, parents used to come. Parents' evening. I used to love parents' evening. They come, Sir, usko kuch samjhao. मैंने मैट्रिक किया है पाकिस्तान में. Yeah? I know English. When he talks, I don't even understand what he's saying. He's talking English. I said, that's because he doesn't talk in English anymore. She doesn't talk in English anymore. They've become fluent in grunt. Yeah? Parents say, so how's your revision going? What are you going to have for dinner? Have you sat down to pray? They become fluent in grunt. I said to the parents, I said, let me talk to him. I said, okay, sir. I said, I know the language. At that age, they go a bit doolally, you know. I learned that phrase in Blackburn school, home and away. Kids taught me. So he's doing home and away. I said, what's home and away? In Ramzan. Yeah? Meaning, wake up for Sahri, have a 3-course Sahri. Mom, where's the waffles? Mom, I want sunny side up. Barabar Sahri. MashaAllah. Asteen Charavine. Yeah? He turned all the food. And then he said, Mom, can you make me some more? I get really hungry in school. And his mom, yeah, beta. And she's running around cooking for him and everything. And he burps and everything. Had a good Sahri. Then he goes to sleep. His mom and his dad are thinking, he's got a roza. He has got a roza at home. But away, breakfast club is the first one in the queue. Lunchtime is chewing a marathon. Comes home from school. When he rounds the corner onto his street, yeah, he puts on his zombie look again. Yeah, and he walks into the house like that. All day he was refreshed, rejuvenated. Yeah? But now, and he goes, Mom, Mari chalo. Chal beta, don't go madrasa today. I'll tell Mali Sahib. Go to sleep. I'll wake you up for iftar. He goes upstairs, he takes his marathons out from under his pillow and munch and mashallah. And then iftar, proper full whack, no mercy, home and away. But you'll never get our infants, our juniors doing something like that. What happens with our juniors? I was in Blackburn schools, again, in other schools as well. You make the mistake of going to a staff room in Ramzan, and you know the topic of conversation. Oh, I don't think it's right. I think it's oppressive. I think it's abuse. And I'm like, what? And they're, oh, Mr. Kazee, I don't think it's right. You know, yeah, we respect your religion and everything. Yeah. But, you know, I don't think it's right. Parents forcing these kids. She's going to disappear. Look at her. She looks malnourished. Parents forcing their kids to fast in the month of Ramadan. I have to say to him something. I said, listen, in my lifetime, I have yet to come across a parent, and you know, who has forced their minor kid to fast. You have to do with the year 9s and 10s and everything. Yeah. But not with the little ones. Little ones, Mom, I'm going to keep rosa. Nah, beta, okay, you can keep it on the weekend. On the weekend, he keeps, or she keeps the first rosa. Iftar time, when they sit on the scar and their face has gone small, you feel so sorry for them. And then you pile their plate up, and they're dead happy, they open their rosa. And then they announce to the family, I'm going to keep them all. And the parents, the mom and the dad, they're like, we can. And then before they go to sleep, they tell their parents 100 times, make sure you wake me up for Sari. Mom, make sure you wake me up. And the parents have decided, no, school day, no, can't wait. So we don't wake them up for Sari. What happens next morning? Fireworks. They kick off. They're crying. I had to tell these teachers, I said, no, these kids, they do it of their own will. They do it because they want to. Why would they want to? I can't understand. I said, you can never understand. لَنَا الْمَوْلَى وَلَا مَوْلَى لَكُمْ. We have an Allah that we love. We do it for Him. Our kids are doing it. And our kids were clean-hearted. We were clean-hearted. Our kids are clean-hearted, innocent, connected to Allah. You take them to the house of Allah. He's not like us tumbling out t-shirts, chaddis, going to Masjid, half pants. Na topi na thikana, na bal na thikana. Yeah? Stepping in with the wrong foot. Allahu Akbar. Brr, done. And the kid, what does he do when you tell him, I'm going to take you into the Masjid? Goes to his mom. Mom, give me my jubbah. The one I wore on Eid. She takes it out for him. He puts a topi on. He looks like an angel. You take him to the Masjid, everyone's speaking. MashaAllah, farishto che. MashaAllah. Yeah, you don't know him at home. Shaitan no bhai se. Yeah? But he's like so. And when he goes home, he's not like us, grum. Yeah? Huff and a puff. When he goes home, he's telling everyone. He wants to ring his grandma in India. Phone lagao, mane baat karis. Nani ne ke uch. And what does he say? He doesn't say, I've been to the masjid. What does he say? He said, I went to Allah's house. You witness that all the time, brothers. Kabhi hum mein tum mein bhi chahat thi, kabhi hum mein tum mein bhi rahat thi. You and I were once upon a time like that as well. Ask any kid now who goes to our madrasas, who've been in the tarbiyat, and we were the same as well. When we were kids, our kids, when we asked them, what are you going to be? None of them say, I'm going to be a footballer. They say, I'm going to be a hafiz, alim, qari. They listen to Mufti Sahib and they think, I want to pray like that. I'm going to be like that. That's what we were. When we were kids, when people asked us, we didn't say, oh, I'm going to be a millionaire. I'm going to be a tattoo for dunya, working all hours. No namaz, no durud, no jamaat, nothing. I'm just going to be crazy for the dunya. We didn't say that. We said, I'm going to be hafiz, alim, qari. We were connected. Our hearts were pure. But then, brothers, we came out into the filthy world. And the filth and the deluge of the world, it came. When people are setting off in life, when they've got their first job, when they come out of university or apprenticeship, and they tell me, ex-students, I tell them, I said, listen, be careful. Dunya hulwatun khadiratun. It's enchanting. It's deceiving. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, once you take a bite, you're smitten. It'll take you down. Isa alayhi salam and others. Once, in a vision or in a dream, he saw a bride. She had a beautiful white floral dress for a white wedding. Beautiful. When he went close, she turned around. And she was the embodiment of dunya that Allah Ta'ala was showing him. When he looked at her up close, she was a churel. She was a hag. Dohi. Yeah? She had a wart. Brother, put your phone away. She had a moustache. She had a beard. All wrinkled like a prune. She smiled. She had teeth missing. But she had mascara. She had eyelashes stuck on. She had lipstick. Lipper chapar. Yeah? So he's like, whoa. He said, who are you? She said, I'm dunya. He said, what business do you have of dressing up like a bride? She said, I'm about to get married. He said, who would marry you? She said, you don't know how many husbands I've had. I've lost count of. Dunyadar people, fanatics for the dunya. So he's scratching his head. He says, obviously your husbands must have left you and they came up close and they saw you. Came for a puppy, came for a kiss and realized, yeah, I know. They must have run from you. They must have divorced you. She laughed. She said, none of them divorced me. I took them in. I lured them. I made them fall in love with me. I sapped them. I worked them hard. I took everything out of them. Then I divorced them. I threw them away. They were good for nothing at the end of their life. Their health has gone. Their deen has gone. All their faculties have gone. Left with nothing. And then I went and got married to someone else. I found another Romeo who was enamored of me, who was in love with me. That's a reality of the dunya, brothers. We were once upon a time embodiments of spirituality. We were people of Allah. We were going places. We wanted to know Allah. We wanted to be with Allah. We wanted to call out to Allah. Many of us sitting here in your youth, if you've been in the path of Allah seriously and spent good time and not taken your phone, you know there have been instances. People come up to me all the time and tell me, Masab, I'm at the stage in my life, 16-year-old kid, Masab, anything I ask for, Masab, it just happens, man. I've had friends who've come up to me and said, Masab, anything I think of, it happens. Such is my connection with Allah. One of my friends, he was in Pakistan 4 months. And he says, we were in Swat or Peshawar or somewhere, mountainous region. He said the masjid we went to was on top of a mountain. There was only one path leading up. And at the top, there was a perimeter wall going all the way around. And then there was an entrance at the front and an entrance at the back. Whichever way you went in, you had to walk around the perimeter wall. So he goes, I'm in the courtyard after Zohar, scorching hot, sweating buckets, homesick like anything, hungry, missing food, missing England, missing Blackburn. You can tell things were bad, missing Blackburn, isn't it? Missing the rain. Yeah. And he goes, Dilmayu, it just came in my heart. I could murder Pizza Hut pizzas. This is going back, at that time they were halal. Yeah. So he goes, it just came in my heart. Ya Allah, I could murder some proper food, what we call proper food. They were getting fed there, but you know, English boti being English boti, he wants some pizzas. He goes, I could murder some Pizza Hut pizzas. So I just thought that, I just lying there, Ya Allah, I just thought it. Because next thing, a guy came into the courtyard. Assalamu alaikum. I looked up, it was a guy with a stack of boxes. He goes, I've heard there's a Jamaat here from England. I said, yes. He said, oh, this is for the Jamaat. And he plunked it down in front of me. And he said, Assalamu alaikum. And he walked off. And I'm like, huh? What just happened? He goes, I opened one box, and Marcel, without a word of a lie, hot steaming, thick crusted, 12-inch pizza. In rural Pakistan, in the mountain. I said, took it off, next one, all different jalapenos, all this. I'm like, what? Brother, but he's gone. So he goes, I ran to get him. And remember, there's a perimeter wall. Whoever comes, he's going to have walked that side or that side, long wall. He goes, I look that way, no one. Look that way, no one. He goes, Allah, that was from Allah. Masa, I'm telling you, Qasam, that was from Allah. And we came those pizzas, they were the best pizzas we've ever had. Once we were in Jamaat in Europe, we'd spent 40 days. Last day was, yeah. So we'd had their food and everything, but you know how we are, we're spoiled. So I was in khidmat, and me, I'm the pasta master. Yeah. I can cook, but just pasta. Yeah, I'm pasta master. Every day, oh, I mean something in khidmat, what's it going to be? Pasta, eat this, plop. Yeah. So it was Ramzan as well. So we're missing our bhajiyas and samosas, pakoras, spring rolls, half moons. It's all coming up. Sisters, if you're listening at home, start filling your freezers up, because Seth Saab's coming. He's going to be demanding chalto lauto. So we sat down before the short iftar that we have, and there were some pakoras, their style of the indigenous people, and fruit and everything. So we had that. And then after Maghrib we came, we sat down, we're still finishing that off. So one of the guys, he goes, is that it? Is that all we're having? So I goes, no, don't worry, bro, the pizzas are coming. So everyone shut up. Pizzas? I said, oh, sorry, my bad. Pasta. They were like, oh, deflated. Right? And I said to my sati, I said, go get the pot, pasta. He went to get the pot, a guy knocked on the door. We'd spent 40 days in that country. This person, we'd never seen him. He walked in, he goes, Jamaat here from England? Yes. This is for the Jamaat from my wife. Assalamu alaikum. Put it down. And he walked out. I said, Lao to bhai. Pulled it over, big heavy tray. Pulled it over, covered with foil. Opened it, stuck to the top with cut pizza pieces. I said, Le bhai. Pizza bulti boila. By accident I said pizza, but it's in the path of Allah. Allahu Akbar. And you know what, when we're not allowed to tell these stories because you know why people think, oh, mashallah, mashallah, he must be a buzurg or something. But you know, if you read in Fazail Amal, there's a story like that where this Sahabi, he got a barren land and then he put his musalla down, he prayed 2 rakats and then he told his slave, he said, go on that spot, dig there. In Arabia, even now in Arabia, it costs some tens of thousands of pounds and dollars to dig for water. Even then, they're not successful. Yeah? And he just said, oh, dig there with a pickaxe. He dug and a fountain of fresh, cold, sweet water came out. And Hazrat Sheikh has written after that, this and other such events were everyday occurrences for the Sahaba Kiram. So many incidents were never recorded. They didn't bother. Because it was everyday life. Why? Because there were people of Allah connected to Allah. Brothers, we have lost the path. Sorry to say, if we're honest with ourselves, we were once upon a time, we were like those little kids. Allah, I've been to the house of Allah. I'm going to fast in the month of Ramadan. We used to have an enthusiasm. We had dreams of becoming somebody, of becoming dindar. But the dunya engulfed us, and now the tragedy, the biggest tragedy is that we're not even mindful of what we're losing. Why? Because the money's coming in. One person bought a car for 60,000 pounds. And nowadays, people advertise it. Somebody showed me on social media, this guy. I said, oh, mashallah, Allah wa parwa nasib kare. I gave him a dua. Yes? I said, I wish all the best for him. But I said, paid too much for it. It got ripped off. So the guy goes, no, Masab, it's a really good car, this, you don't know. I said, yeah, but it got ripped off. No, Masab, you only paid 60 grand, only 60 grand, eh? So I've got my X marks, When I was buying it, when I was looking for a car, people help out, mashallah, people are always very helpful. Masab, I'll find you a car. Masab, what's your budget? I said, £1,000. Masab, gari lewanish. Gari. I said, no, seriously, I've never bought a car for more than £1,000. What are you talking about? I just run it to the ground after that. I bought a Chrysler for £1,000 and I was there, alhamdulillah. So he said, no, Masa, come on. So I said, okay, at a push, £2,000. He said, Masa, you'll never get a car for £2,000. Alhamdulillah, one brother, he found a car in Blackburn. And you know what, the best thing, it was a Molana's car. A very good Molana as well. And I messaged him after. I said, Aapka Burak mujhe mil gaya. Yeah? And it's still running, alhamdulillah. But nazar no lagata. It's running well. Yeah? 1,900 quid, that's the most I've ever paid for a car. Yeah? So this guy, 60 guy, I'm like, but I said to him, he got ripped up. He said, Masa, you don't know anything about cars. You stick to your kitabs and everything. You don't know dunya. This car is worth like 85 grand at least. He got a good deal, 60 grand, Masa, top car. I said, he got ripped off. He said, Masa, come on, what are you talking about? What do you know? I said, you're not looking at the hidden price tag. He said, Masa, what do you mean hidden price tag? He's paid VAT. I said, no, not that. There's another hidden price tag. He said, Masa, what, he's paid tax on it? I said, no, there's a hidden price tag which you're not seeing, he's not seeing, which the taxman doesn't know about. And because your iman's so weak, you're not striving in the path of Allah, you're not looking at it with those eyes. He said, what hidden price tag? I said, how many namaz did he pay to earn the money to buy the car? How many namaz did he miss? Do you not take that into account? Brothers, isn't it? How many namaz did he miss? How many salat did he miss? How many 3 days did he miss? How many 40 days did he miss? Because he was too busy earning the dunya to get the car. I said, you've got to take that into account in real terms, because wal akhiratu khayrun wa abqa. Akhirat is real. And we're all going to the akhirat. In real terms, I think he got ripped off. This guy, I said, I grew up with him. We were childhood friends. He used to come to my house. But without exaggeration, in 30, 40 years, I've never seen him in any masjid. I'm not exaggerating. And there's not one person like that. You think about it. You know people like that. You're in madrasa with them. You've never seen him in a masjid. At most, you've seen him in Jummah namaz. So he's earning the dunya. Hada min fadli rabbi. It's all coming in. But he's not taking into account. When was the last time I sat in Talim? When was the last time I sat in the dars of Molana? When was the last time I went for 3 days? When was the last time I spent 40 days? When did I spend 4 months? When did I sit and talk to Allah? Our youngsters come out in the path of Allah in Christmas holidays, 10 days, without their mobile phones. Hint, hint, I'll get to that. If you want to really benefit, go without your mobile phones. We had a 10-day Jamaat. Abdul Rahman is sitting here, he was the Amir of the Jamaat. He took the Jamaat. I had the honor of going with them. He took everyone's phones off them. In 10 days, many of them first timers, every single one of them stood up in the place of Imam Sahib and delivered a good bayan. Not one of those bayans, Fir'aun alayhi salam, Abu Jahl radiyallahu. No, a proper solid bayan. People were moved and stirred. Every single one of them did solid Adab Begash, 6 points bayan. Every single one of them delivered a good dawat on the doorstep. I know people who spent 4 months who can't do that because they went with their phones. This is what we were supposed to be, brothers. This is what we've got to come back onto. I don't know, it's obviously happened to you. It must have happened to you. As it happened to me, you're living in the masjid. You pick up your shoes, what you think are your shoes. You look at them, they're the same color, same brand, same wear and tear, same size. You put them on, you're walking home. Halfway home, you realize, Allah, something wrong. You're looking, yeah, they're my shoes. You look carefully. Allah, they're not mine. These scuff marks weren't on mine. Allah, they're not my shoes. What happened? Same size, same wear and tear, same shape, same model, but something just doesn't sit well. Why? Because you're wearing the wrong shoes. If in shoe, then you rush back to the masjid and try to find the guy, bro, you took my shoes. Yeah? Why? If just by wearing somebody else's shoes you feel uncomfortable, how would it be, brothers? Think about this. When your Allah has given you a lifestyle, a sunnat, the sunnats, the ahkam, the deen, and we instead put that aside and adopted another model, another mode of living our lives, how can we be happy then? Hasan Basri Ahmad used to say to his congregation, within 100 years of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he used to say to his congregation, who were the tabi'is, who were good people, more pious than us, striving in the path of Allah. And yet he used to say, because he saw the decline, he said, if the Sahaba were to come out of their graves now and see you people, they would think you're munafiqs and hypocrites. The ulama kiram, they say, they quote Hasan Basri Ahmad, you must have heard it from the Mimbar Mihrab, from your Imam Sahib also. The ulama kiram say that if the Sahaba were to come out of their graves and come into 21st century and see us, they would think we're non-Muslims. I take it a step further. I said, let the Sahaba kiram rest. Your own, your dada, your nana, your father, your mother, Allah, if they're alive, Allah Ta'ala grant them barakat in their lives. Those who have passed away, Allah grant them Jannat. If our elders who passed away in the past 10, 20 years, if they came out of the graves and they saw me and my family and my routine and my way of life, they would be disgusted. Hey, anybody? I'm not exaggerating. I know of people. People tell me. One chacha, he goes, Alhamdulillah, in my house, bo muhabbat hai. All my sons and daughters come to my house. My wife cooks on Saturday, Sunday, and mashallah. But he goes, Masab, unto upar jaane behi jaun. I go into i'tikaf in my room. Why? Masab, ye logo na dhanda, ye logo ni holiday, ye logo na lungla, the way they dress, the way they talk, the haircuts and stuff. Masab, I started telling them, and they turned on me. It created ill feeling. The food got left over. People say, oh, I'm not hungry. And my wife then nagging me all week. So because now when they come around, I just disappear. He's a prisoner, he's in his own house. Why? Because his family, his kids are wearing the wrong shoes. And now they're looking down on him. I've heard of people telling their grandparents, who pansuro thoka karot? Who para karot? Young girls, I'm educated, I'm working, I am so eloquent, I'm so advanced. Yeah. And my grandma, Allah Allah kara. They be at Allah Allah. One old woman, whenever a problem used to come, you know what she used to say? Allah Ta'ala grant her Jannat. Kaini. Mara Allah bo motta hai. Allah karse. This is what our elders used to say. Reliance on Allah, trust in Allah, everything. Allah, Allah, Allah. And now, don't worry, another job. Don't worry, Allah, talk to the boss. Don't worry, we'll do this, we'll do that. It's all money, money, money now. And we've drifted from our culture. But more than that, we've drifted from our deen, brothers. And we're happy. You know why we're happy? Because on the other side, the thing is, the money's coming in, and mashallah, hadha min fadli rabbi, but we're not looking. Like that person in the time of Musa alayhi salam, he's not looking. What he has lost, he's lost the pleasure and the relish of talking to Allah. We're happy with the money coming in, alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. You know, there was a time, but I don't know what time did I start? Ho gaya mera time. Kitne baje khatam karna hai? Bhai pani to pilao, kuch petrol ho yaar. Sorry brothers, I'm going to wrap up now. Dar chawal is getting cold. Oh no, who knows? It might be gourmet burgers. Wishful think, might be pizzas. Mufti Sahib said pasta. I didn't say pasta. Toba, toba. Allahu Akbar. I'm not going that far back. Bolton, Preston, Blackburn. People used to work in Courtwall, Swan Lane Mill, in the mills, yeah? One person used to earn in the family. Here I'm talking about your family, your parents, your grandparents. And the chachas who are sitting here, please, zara hu ha karo, zara sar hilao, warna log samajhe ye maulvi bundle phekta hai, aise thokta rehta hai. I'm telling you, I've witnessed this. One person used to earn, one breadwinner. You know what the salary was? 60 quid a week. 60 quid a week. If somebody was on a good one in Courtwall or something, 110 pounds, people used to think, mashallah, mashallah. Yeah? 110 quid coming into a household. And you know, in those days, the families were big as well, because we were on the sunnah. Yeah? We didn't have all this nonsense, nuclear family. Hum do, hamare do. Ek ke baad abhi nahi, do ke baad kabhi nahi. Yeah? Bacche to do hi achhe. Hint, hint, all you young guys. Yeah? Wife ne kiya, mashallah, apna production line kholi kare hai. Mashallah. Allah dese. Yeah? Allah will provide. فَإِنِّي مُكَاثِرٌ بِكُمُ الْأُمَمِ Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, I will be proud when I see your children on the day of judgment. The abundance of my ummah. And we're happy with 2 nuclear family. It's easy, it's cheap on the holidays and stuff. My wife has to work. Allah, what are you doing, brother? Anyway, so in those days, mashallah, people my age, they'll know how many brothers and sisters, 6, 7, sometimes, mashallah, football team with substitutes as well. Some of my friends, Akko, dammal, garma, dammal. Yeah? The house was a mad house. But those houses were homes. We went to one country, yeah? The houses are massive. Yeah? MashaAllah, here, Lamuk, Pleasington, and Plegate, MashaAllah, Allah Ta'ala has blessed you with houses. I used to come in from Bolton every day, yeah? And if I was in a, if I was a bit on a downer, I'd drive through, instead of Darwin, I'd drive through Pleasington. It used to wake me up. Yeah, the luscious fields and the houses. I'd walk in with a skip in my step. I'd be humming some nasheed, and the teachers would look at me and say, Mr. Kazee, it's too early in the morning to be in such a good mood. I said, yeah? MashaAllah, big houses, yeah? But that country, the houses were palaces. Yeah? And I inquired, and these houses were £1 million each or more. Yeah? So we had 2 youngsters with us who'd spent 40 days a few times, but this was their first time abroad. So when we went in Gasht, we're talking to the guys, and I'm looking at my youngsters, and I'm looking at their eyes are like, and their tongues are hanging out, lolling. Yeah, I'm noticing, they're only kids anyway, they're human. So, and they've come from, terraced houses, yeah? They've come from 2 up, 2 down. So they're like, So I let it sit for a few days. Then after a few days, I sat them down. I said, what do you think of this country? They said, Qasam. I said, whoa, man, my parents should have come here. So what do you think of the houses? Woof. I said, you know what, your house is still better than these houses. I said, come on, the simplicity, come on. I said, okay, these houses, they're good, huh? Garages, jacuzzi, marble, all this sort of stuff. I said, they had all that, yeah? Your houses don't have that, do they? No, myself. I said, but your houses have something that they don't have. So what's that? I said, in these houses, did you hear any laughter? Did you hear the pitter-patter of children's feet? Did you have Did you hear two kids having a fight? Did you see a kid coming down the stairs on a tray? Yeah. Coming down the banister, yeah, ripping the wallpaper, graffitiing, yeah, and screaming and shouting, and he talk, yeah, Damal. So no, I said, our house is Havda, Larta, Jagarta. Our house is houses, man. Our house is a home. Men make houses, women make homes. Every person we went to, we'd sit with him in this shell of a house, massive, empty. He's sitting in the dark. We talk to him, no one else here. Oh, my wife's gone to work, she'll come back, then I've got to go. I said, you can't live in this. I said, just sitting there for 10, 15 minutes, I start feeling uneasy. How can you live there? Our house is tutu bangar jehu bhi hoy, yeah? Silent stain going down the wall and all that, yeah? Wallpaper ripped off. I hope I'm not giving you ideas. My little son here, Dad's giving me the green light, I can peel the wallpaper off. Yeah, but however it was, isn't it? Brothers, nod your heads or something. Bundle phekta hu kya hai? Remember weddings, apni weddings. Yeah, Blackburn wedding. Your sister's getting married. First wedding in the family. Yeah, your parents nutters, but done it. Awa, Allah Malik se. Your relatives are piling down. Kasu lawanuj, godra liauzo, takia lauzo. Bring your duvets and pillows. That's how it was, isn't it? And they piled down it here. House. There was no count on how many people were in the house. Yeah? 50 people, 100 people. Every single house. I tell my kids, I live in that house where my sister got married. I tell my kids now, I say, this room, it was packed. Yeah? The queue for the toilet in the morning was a mile long. Yeah? Every room, everyone's sleeping. Yeah? And the chacha, if it's a Bolton wedding, Blackburn wedding, the chacha comes from Bolton. Yeah? And he's in your backyard. And from the masjid, they get the gas rings and the tapelas. Yeah? And then they're cooking. Yeah? And he's got his lungi on and he's smoking his Benson and Hedges. And the khalas are with him, and all night, they do all nighters, they have that bulb and the chamchomares, and yeah, and they're cooking there, isn't it? And then the food was served, and he, love, mahabbat, awa, mashallah, mashallah. There was so much expanse. Houses were small, hearts were big. Deendari was more. Now, we were going to a wedding, relatives. I said to my wife, why don't we just stay at their house? Khabardar, don't even bother asking. Oh, you can't do that. I said, they've got a massive house. So no, we've got to stay in Holiday Inn. This is how it was, brothers. Culturally, we were so rich, and deen-wise, we were so rich as well. We've not understood what we've lost. Why? Because the money is coming in. The whole point of this Jor, brothers, is so that we reflect, kya paya, kya khoya, what have we lost? At that time, the salary was so small, but the whole family was eating, everyone was happy. Khate pite. We had our Pac-Man watches, and our Etch-a-Sketch, and our chopper bikes, and we were never wanting. We had our Commodore 64, and our VIC-20s, and our ZX Spectrums. Yeah? Nowadays, in one house, in those days, if you would have told somebody, if you went to that chacha and said, chacha, achhe din aane wale hai, good times are coming. Right now, you got 110 pounds coming in every week. Yeah, you got about 400 pounds coming in every month. There's going to come a time, chacha, when there's going to be 6 grand coming into your house monthly. The chacha would have broke down and cried, tears of joy. And what would he have said? Maulvi Sahab, if that's going to be the case, to basi aapre to Allah na rasta mat che. Fir to hum masjid ka kona sambhal lenge. Then Masa, if we're going to get that much, then we'll just be deen, we'll just free ourselves up for deen. Today, brothers, you and I know, without exaggeration, the son's a professional, 2 grand, 3 grand coming in every month. The daughter's a professional, 2, 3 grand. The husband, he's a fanatic taxi driver, working all hours. Nobody knows his salary. Even the wife, she's a dinner lady. Money coming in, and yet they're still complaining and they're still in debt. So brothers, this is what's happened. This is why we need to come back to our deen. We need to reassess our lives, and we need to think, kis liye aaye the, kya kar chale, tohmate chan apne sar pe dar chale. What was the purpose of my life? What was I supposed to build? I was supposed to be building my akhirat. Alhamdulillah, dunya we have plenty of. But how about cutting back on our dunya? I said to one person, 53 years old, he's got shops, he's got property, he's got loads of money. I said, why don't you retire? He looked at me like I'd sworn at his mum. Since then, I've told so many people like, look at me. And the more dindar people, I say, okay, but why don't you go part-time? Even that is alien to people. Now, dua karo, that I survive till my retirement age. I die with my boots on. No, bhai, free yourself up. Start now accumulating for your akhirat. Start going out in the path of Allah. Everyone you speak to, sitting here in Blackburn, Preston, Blackburn, they'll say, yeah, I spent time back in the days, we used to go. Bhai, you needed it then, you need it more now. Why are you not going out now? So this is why, brothers, the upcoming Christmas holidays, alhamdulillah, in this country we have a beautiful history. We don't have this in any other country. In this country, alhamdulillah, for the last 40 years, the elders have been making effort like this. We had jors. Back in those days, we used to have jor, and then on the dastakhan, there used to be pistas and chana and stuff. Now, mashallah, we have a good meal as well. Yeah? And after that, brothers would go out in the path of Allah. Rafiq Baksh rahmatullah used to take the youngsters out, Scotland, Leicester, where. And now, mashallah, he built these people up. Now he has earned and he has gone into his grave. Allah Ta'ala grant him maghfirat. And all our elders, they've really earned. And all the dunya that they had earned, they've left behind. All the dunya we're earning, we're going to leave behind as well. But this is real acquisition. This is real earning. And the real benefit of the path of Allah in the Christmas holidays is 10 days, brothers, without our phones. So brothers, make intentions, inshallah. You've been a fantastic audience, mashallah. I'm going to go back. Amir Saab's going to ask me for Karguzari, and I'm going to say, mashallah, send me there every time. The brothers, spot on, mashallah. Allah Ta'ala bless you, brothers. Make your masjid, your lives, your houses, your locality abad, and grant you more goodness. But brothers, for that, we're going to have to strive out. So stand up and give your intentions, inshallah, for 10 days, brothers.
Should we start with 4 months?
4 months, mashallah. Brothers, make it, I hear that, mashallah, Jamaat is getting ready from here for 4 months. Mashallah, fantastic. Such a young masjid, young community, and already at 4 months Jamaat is going out. So brothers, make intention for 4 months. It doesn't have to be from tomorrow. At the nearest opportunity, you plan, you make intention and you plan. All the people sitting here, middle-aged people, my age, start reflecting. 50 years, where have they gone? We're gone. Our life is gone. How much have we got left? We don't know. So many people dying, so many friends and family gone all of a sudden, unexpectedly. Our time will also come. So this is real acquisition, brothers. 4 months intention, inshallah, brothers.
From the masjid, intention.